Hey everyone, so today we're going to be making this super yummy cookies and cream cake. This cake is so delicious. I made this on a Friday afternoon and it didn't even make it to Sunday, so everybody ate it up, really enjoyed it, loved it. So let's go over a rundown of our ingredients. So to start, we have some Oreo cookies, some eggs. I always like to bring my eggs to room temperature when baking. I will be using this box of white cake mix. I just had this in the pantry, so I decided to go ahead and use it. Of course, if you prefer, you can always make your own white cake batter. And I'm gonna need some oil, vegetable oil, some confectioner's sugar for our frosting, some cream cheese for our frosting, and butter, unsalted butter, and make sure the cream cheese and butter are both at room temperature as well, and some vanilla extract. And I'm going to be using two 8-inch round cake pans for this recipe. So to begin, I'm going to take about, I honestly don't remember how many Oreos I use. You know, you can just eyeball it too. Really, this is all about your taste, your preference. I think I used about maybe 8 cookies or something like that. And I'm not sure why this footage got cut out, but I actually opened up maybe about 5 of those cookies and scraped out the cream filling and put that in that separate bowl back there because I'm going to use that later on. But in the meantime, I just went ahead and crushed my cookies. Of course, you can put this in a bag and crush them up. I don't know. I just decided to mash them up this way. Whatever, you know, whatever floats your boat, whatever you want to do, as long as they're crushed, that's all that matters. So I still want a few chunks in there. I don't want it like completely like into cookie crumbles, so I like it about that way. So now I'm just going to go ahead and prepare my cake mix up according to the box instructions. Like I said, if you have a really good white cake mix that you prefer to make, go ahead by all means. I was actually intending on making my own white cake, but I saw this in the pantry. I forgot I bought this a few months back and I was like, might as well use it, so just decided to use it for this. So I'm just preparing this, like I said, as according to the instructions on the box, just adding in my eggs, my oil, and my water. And I don't know why I tried to play myself like this, but I call myself trying to mix this up with a whisk. I don't know, I mean, you can if you have the arm strength, like by all means whip away. I for one do not, so I don't know why it was like super lumpy, so I just decided to go ahead and whip out my hand mixer to whip it up real nice and creamy and get rid of all those lumps. So then I'm just going to go ahead and add in about half of those crushed cookies into my batter, and I'm just going to mix it until it's just nice and incorporated. And once I have that mixed in all together nicely, I'm just going to go ahead and pour the batter into my greased pans. I just coated them with some butter. You know, you can use flour and all that stuff. I was being kind of lazy, so I just used butter and called it a day. So just place those in the oven, bake according to whatever recipe you're using as far as your white cake. Then we're going to move on to our frosting. So for my frosting, I am of course using my room temperature cream cheese. And guys, I just want to point out, for your cream cheese, make sure that you are using the actual cream cheese that you see there on the right in the rectangular packaging, as opposed to the one in the tub. The one in the tub is actually, if you can see on the label, it says cream cheese spread. The other one does not say that. If you take a look at the ingredients, the one that's in the tub contains preservatives and a few other ingredients to help prolong the shelf life. So make sure that if you're going to bake with cream cheese that you are using the one in the rectangular packaging. So I just get that nice and creamed together with my hand mixer. Then I'm going to throw in my room temperature unsalted butter, cream that together. Then from there, I'm just going to add in my vanilla extract. I usually use a little less vanilla in my frosting recipe than what is recommended, just because I like the taste of cream cheese, so I like to have a little extra cream cheese flavor in mine. Sometimes the vanilla can overpower that, so sometimes I use just a little bit less. So here I have my powdered sugar, or confectioner sugar, whatever you want to call it, measured out on the side, and I'm just going to apply that in like 1 cup at a time and just get it mixed in and well incorporated each time I add in more. So just make sure you have it nice and creamed in before you add in more of your powdered sugar. And then what I'm gonna do, like I said, those Oreo creams that I took out earlier, I melted those down in the microwave for a few seconds, got them nice and creamy, and I'm going to add in a portion of that of our frosting so that it'll pick up that Oreo cream flavor, and it's so delicious, you guys. And I'm going to use this in the middle of the cake, so that's going to be the middle frosting layer, and it's just really yummy. You still have the flavor of your frosting, but you do get that Oreo cream filling taste in there, and it's really delicious. And then for the frosting, I'm just going to add in another half of whatever's left of our Oreo cookies and mix that into the frosting and set that aside. So once your cakes come out the oven, of course you want to allow them to cool. You can't put frosting on a hot cake. So you want it to cool down and, you know, get ready to be frosted and whatnot. So once I took mine out the oven, I did allow them to cool. Once they've cooled, I did go ahead and layer off one of the cakes, and that's just cutting off that top part that kind of domes out and, you know, rounds up, because if you put one cake on top of the other like that, it's just gonna cause the cake that's on top to crack down the middle, and it's just not pretty. So you gotta cut it off. And that doesn't mean you throw it away. Trust and believe, I ate that cake. The top part that I cut off, don't throw that away. Just eat it, it's fine. Just gonna take my frosting that contains my Oreo creams and just put that there, which will be the middle frosting layer of the cake. And then once I have that nice and spread out the way I want it, I'm gonna go ahead and put the next layer of cake on top. Once I have that all assembled, I'm just going to go ahead and plop my frosting, the frosting that contains the Oreo cookies, on there. And you guys, I am not a cake decorator, okay? So that's not my strong point yet. So I'm just trying to master, you know, my baking skills first, and then I'll work on the decorating part. But I did the best I could. It came out cute, I think, for what I, you know, was trying to do. So once I have that on the way that I want it, I'm just going to take the remainder of those Oreo cookies and just put that right all over the top of the cake, starting from the center, and just sprinkle them all around. So to make it a little cuter, I also cut a few Oreo cookies in half and just put them, I think I used like 2 cookies, and so that made like 4 halves, and I just put 4 cookies around the cake. And then in the middle I just put a dollop of some leftover frosting that I had and popped the Oreo cookie on top of that. And then I had some other frosting left over, so I did a few little dollops along the top of the cake. I don't know, just to try to make it look cuter or whatnot. But that's it, guys. This is a super duper yummy cake. If you love Oreos, this is great. If you you know, don't want something that's too chocolatey, or you know, something where you get a little bit of chocolate but you don't want, you know, it to be overwhelming, this is a really great cake for that. Especially if you have a really good white cake recipe. It's going to come out super delicious. Like I said, this cake did not make it through the weekend. Everyone loved it. Everyone enjoyed it. So Go ahead and make it for your family and friends. Trust me, they will enjoy it. But thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this new segment that I'm trying to add to my channel. I think I really enjoy baking and cooking, so I do want to share it here with you guys. So I hope you enjoy it as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.